Ally Chard, and I am coming at you from Vigo, Spain, which for those who don't know is in the autonomous community of Galicia, right above Portugal. As you can see, I am getting ready for school, currently in the English department. I have a short day today, 4 classes. I'm done at 12:10, so I'm going to leave a question box on the next slide. Ask me anything, and we'll be back in the afternoon. Alright guys, I am back from teaching. Day went a little bit longer than I anticipated. Getting some questions about what program I'm teaching here in Spain through, and it's called the Fulbright Program. I have not seen another ITA alum take the page over and mention it. Fulbright is a bit different than like the government program called NALCAP, the Media's program. Fulbright is different. It's a government grant-based program. So I actually applied over a year ago before I found out that I was selected. Only 160 people are selected in the United States to come here and teach in Spain. Usually we'd come for a 10-month period. However, with COVID, it was reduced down to a 5-month period. The application process to be a Fulbright candidate is 3 letters of recommendation. You have to, for the country of Spain, prove that you have an intermediate level of the language or higher. I had to write a personal statement and a grant statement of purpose. So it was rigorous. It was very comprehensive, but really happy that I did it, and I'm absolutely loving the program experience. So if you have more questions for me regarding Fulbright, go ahead and send me a message on my Okay, I promise I will answer more questions, but first I want to do an apartment tour because those are so stinking fun, and I also just wanted to share a little bit about my schedule here because I know when I watch these, I'm super curious about the apartment, how much the person gets paid, and what their schedule is like. So here in Spain, something that's important to note is that you are a teaching assistant. You can't legally be the main classroom teacher. With that being said, depending on your relationship with the school and a specific teacher that you're working with, you might be able to be the leader of the class that day. Other times you might just be an aide in the classroom. It really truly depends on the school and the specific structure that they have set up for teaching assistants. For me, I work Tuesday to Friday. Tuesday and Wednesday I'm done around 12:30 and I start at 8:30. And then Thursday and Friday are my long days. I start at 8:30. Actually, one day I start at 9:30 and I end at 2:10. So across the board, no matter what, school is over at 2:10 for me. I teach at a secondary school, so I work with students all the way from 11. Alright guys, like I mentioned, I am in a secondary school, so I work with students from 11 years old all the way up to 18-year-olds, a wide range of not only ages, but also speaking levels, English speaking levels. So at my school specifically, you can choose when you're 12 years old in second ESO to either be in bilingual sections or non-bilingual sections. I only work with bilingual sections, meaning that the student has chosen not only to practice English in English class, they've also chosen to learn English in technology, history, and physical education. So in general, I would say my students have a pretty good grasp on the English language, but it can just depend. If they're 11 years old, they're going to know much less than say if they're 18 years old. I love my students, love them. My schedule, I'm in lots of English classes, some technology classes, physical education, history, and I think that's it. But it is a challenge at times to create lessons for technology and history. However, I think it's a good critical experience. And Alright guys, so I live in a shared apartment with 2 other people. There's actually 3 rooms, but one is vacant and has been since I got here in January. The 2 other girls are fantastic. They're both college grads and they're young professionals like myself. So I'm going to try to turn the camera around. Alright, this is our kitchen. We have a microwave, a really big refrigerator, nice new stove. This is a necessity. Coffee is my love language, so we have our kettle. Although we have a toaster, we don't have an actual oven, so we have to use the toaster oven. I just try to avoid it at all costs. And then here we have in-unit laundry, which is really, really nice. This is the courtyard that it looks. All right, here is our living room. Nice, big, and spacious. Love the natural light. Not the nicest TV, but it does the job. And then this is probably my favorite part of the apartment. We have a beautiful balcony that gets really nice sunlight in the afternoon. So I love coming out here and just sipping a cup of coffee with the sun. As you can see, we also dry our clothes out here because it's very uncommon in Spain to have a dryer. Usually you get a washer in your flat, but the drying takes place either on a clothesline or in our case, right here on the balcony where we get natural light. If you look really closely, you can see the ocean. Vigo is such a beautiful city. I have slowly fallen just incredibly in love with it. There is so much to do. I'll talk more about it later. But yes, this is the street that I live on. About a 30-minute walk to school and some really nice views. Okay, and we head down this hallway. We have our bathroom, nice and clean, does the job. We actually have 2 bathrooms. I'll show the second one. This one is smaller. So we have 1 shower for 3 people, but really don't run into problems. And then this is my room. So I pay $230 a month, and this is a really nice size. We have, everything came included, so we have a really big closet here. I think it's a queen size bed, which is great. Desk, wonderful natural light. That photo was indeed drawn for me by a student. I love it. And then we have Okay, this is a really good question. I personally do have a bachelor's degree in human resources and Spanish, but you don't need one to teach in Spain. I know there are other options, different programs that you can work through that just go with an associate's degree. You can also teach online. Okay, so I got certified through ITA's online 11-week course. Highly recommend. I did it during my 5th and final year of undergrad, so I was taking about 15 credits and was able to complete the course online and finish my practicum. So this will depend completely on what program you go through. I'm going through the Fulbright Program, and I get paid 955 euros every month. Galicia is known to be the cheapest region here in Spain, or most economical, so it's more than enough. I have plenty of leftover money. My contract right now goes from January 2021 until June. So I'm almost up. I have about 3 weeks left with my kiddos, and I'm so sad. But I'm actually planning to renew and come back with the ministry nail cap program for the following year. So the short answer is yes. I don't know specifics. It'll depend largely on the program and their parameters, but I do know a lot of people that are not native speakers that are here in Spain, either working in a traditional school setting, maybe with an after-school academy, doing private lessons, or working online. So I love this question because I had exactly 0 teaching experience prior to coming here other than my TEFL certification and practicum hours. So it was probably one of the biggest things that concerned me about making the move and teaching abroad, but my TEFL certification 100% prepared me. So this 100% depends where you live. If you live in Madrid, you're going to save less than someone living in Galicia, which is a more economical region. But aside from your main teaching duties, myself, I make 900 a month, but I could also do private lessons and work at an academy and bring in anywhere from 100 to 400. So similar to the last question, it really just depends what you're looking for. You certainly have enough time, right? You're only contractually obligated to work in the school around 18 hours a week. So you have time to work online, to pick up private classes. You could do after school time at an academy. So while you definitely do not have to, I don't believe it's a requirement in most programs, it has helped me immeasurably, especially if you're looking to meet friends that are locals here. To just have that, put that effort in and try to meet them in their native language can go a long way. Okay, so the short answer is I am planning to return in October and teach for another academic year until June 2022, but after that, who knows? I think that's kind of the beauty of being a TEFL teacher, that you have this ability to be nomadic and move or stay as you. There are just too many to choose. I'm going to type them out on the screen. I will say the Cias Islands were voted the best beaches in the world in 2018, I think, and they're literally right across from Vigo, a 45-minute ferry ride. So the vaccination process here in Spain in general is slower than that of the US. However, we're making progress. Right now in Galicia, restaurants, bars, cafes can be open. They don't have to close at a specific hour. People wear masks inside of buildings and on the streets. It's required. So this is a really good question. I think for me, it was coming in realizing that I'm going to be teaching not only in English classes, so technology and history, where I am not subject matter experts, and I'm teaching real content. So it challenged me to lean on the teacher and really ask them what material they. So in 2018, I studied abroad for a semester in Salamanca, Spain, and as cliche as it sounds, the experience fundamentally changed the trajectory of my life. I just started to see what a world outside of the one I had designed for myself in a 9-to-5 could look like. Okay guys, so I am about to sign off for the night. I have 2 pieces of advice. One is for the person that is thinking about getting their TEFL certification and has not taken the leap. My advice to you is, if you're watching this story right now, if you follow ITA on Instagram or any social media platform, I think it's a good indication that you have this desire inside of you for maybe something different or something more for your life, and it's worth pursuing. I have never once regretted taking the online 11-week TEFL cert assessment, so if that's you, I encourage you to take the jump and apply as well. Okay, the second piece of advice is for the person that has taken their TEFL certification, done the practicum, they're certified, and they're asking what's next. I think sometimes that's the most daunting question to ask yourself. What worked really well for me is, number one, getting informed. So doing the research, thinking about the countries that interest you, engaging in these takeovers and asking questions for people that are already doing what you're thinking about doing yourself. And then once you're informed, really seeing what feels right for you. See it's not for you, or maybe that specific country is not what you expected, but no matter what you choose, there's going to be some degree of fear, and that's completely okay. Fear means that we're growing. And so while you saw a day in the life for me in Vigo, just know that there are really hard days and there are really great days. There are wonderful lessons, there are lessons that totally fall flat. We're all just learning, and so have grace with yourself. But this has been the best decision of my life. It's fundamentally changed not only the trajectory of where I'm going, but also just who I am as a person.